Hi, I'm Brandon. Welcome to On Air with Brandon J. I'm here at NAMM 2023 in the NAMM Media Center, brought to you by the wonderful sponsors AKG and JBL. And I've got an exclusive interview with 9-time Grammy Nominated John Jacob. I've got some cool questions I want to ask him, like what are his takes on AI? There's a lot of controversy happening according to Billboard.com and other publications about what AI is doing in terms of the creative process. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss it right here at NAMM 2023. I'm with 9-time Grammy-nominated producer, Mr. John Jacob. John, how are you?
I am fantastic. Listen to the noise and the vibe and the people here.
Isn't it amazing with the vibe, though, and the noise? With this equipment, we're able to tone down the noise.
Well, you geek out at this place. This is for geeks and for people who love music, so it's a great combination.
It's amazing, all the brands here, John, and I'm sure you can relate. You get to see all of these wonderful brands like Pioneer, Neumann, JBL, AKG, sure, the list goes on, right? And see what new technology they're using.
Anything from a $200 or a $100 mic up to a $32,000 microphone. So you can go off the deep end or just take the economy route.
Now, being nominated for 9 Grammys, I'm sure you're not using a $200 mic.
No, I'm using closer to the other end.
John, there's a lot of controversy in the media, Billboard. There's been several articles in Billboard, music industry worldwide, about AI and how it's changing the dynamic and the direction of music production from songwriting and producing. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, it has to do with the genre. If you're doing certain types of things like jazz or I'm sure instrumental music, it's not going to affect them that much. But pop, hip-hop, definitely. Anything that uses where you can do, it's sort of like when looping came into being.
Right.
So you get those type of things, or multi-instrumentalists by doing looping. So it'll affect those types of music more, I think.
What I was seeing, I played around with ChatGPT a little bit, and I saw that, okay, it'll write out a song for you, but it misses that ingredients of what makes that hit song, those nuances, those words, that vibe.
I worry more as far as music, the music part.
Yeah.
To me, it's the lyric. This is me. Now, I'm into people who write lyrics, and a good tune is good to have support that. But boy, I'd like to see AI get to that point, and it may at some point, but I don't think it's there for.
No, I don't think it's there, because people like yourself, you know the difference between a hit or not a hit, right? Something that's great, it has to have certain ingredients involved.
So AI at this point doesn't have the passion of they don't, it can't say, this is going to make somebody more emotional.
Right.
It may get to that point, but I don't think as far as the compute, it's sort of like a lot of the movies that you see on robots not having souls. Eventually we're probably getting there. I think there's a movie called Alita that was that way. They were talking about the combination of cyborg and human, and it's getting closer and closer, but it ain't there. And it's not just a linear thing. It's like this. It's hard to get there.
John, what is next for you? We're in 2023. So many things are changing since I'm sure you started producing, and since you got nominated for that first Grammy. Where do you think things are headed for John Jacob?
Wow. Well, so I have a background in physics too, so I'm a geek. So I'm always looking for better ways of recording, but that's usually real stuff, not synth stuff. So that doesn't affect me that much. I'm looking for cleaner sound or certain ways of recording stuff that sounds good, And so that's what I'm looking for when I'm here.
John, I appreciate you taking the time, man. It's great to run into professionals like yourself because there's so many people walking around that want to be aspiring musicians, right? So I appreciate you. 9-time Grammy nominated producer John Jacob right here at NAMM 2023. Back to NAMM 2023, I'm joined by recording artist Tanner James. Tanner, how are you, man?
Doing good, having a great show so far, thank you.
Dude, what's crazy is we got a lot of noise and distraction behind us, and we're still able to get this great interview here in the NAMM Media Center. So, Tanner, what have you been working on?
This is a really exciting year for me. I started all in Nashville at a big writing camp, met some amazing people, and so I'm working on my debut EP. Have a lot of singles lined up for release this year that I'm looking forward to.
Speaking of Nashville, Tennessee, I was just in Nashville in December. Love Nashville, did an event where we raised money for kids with mental health with Struggle Jennings, Struggles on tour with Jelly Roll. What do you feel about this new tour that Jelly Roll's put together?
Yeah, I think it's great. I don't know exactly the details, but I know that what's important is that it sounds like the music they're making is having an impact, and that's all I'm about, is music with meaning.
I made a hit #1 on Billboard. So, Tanner, one of my questions for everybody that I've interviewed today is AI. What are your thoughts on artificial intelligence?
Man, that is an interesting question because I think maybe a lot of artists are afraid of that. Some very interesting gray areas with intellectual property. Who owns what? If you use AI in your workflow, I mean, it can really supplement your own creativity. So I'm a fan. I think we should use it to think more efficiently.
I agree with you. I think that AI lacks certain nuances, like if you're trying to write a hit song or something of that nature, right? It's not a human being, but man, it's very close to giving you the ingredients you need.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I just actually had an experience where we were testing the AI. Let's see if it can come up with the next lyric, and it dropped the ball for sure. It lacks a human touch, but I think it can help us inspire, kind of get us in the right direction.
Tanner, when you compare your music out there, and I know it's not necessarily good to compare yourself to other artists, but who would you compare your sound to?
Well, Elton John's the reason I started playing the piano, but my vocals and my songwriting style are definitely more like a J.P. Sachs, Louis Capaldi feel.
Very interesting. But
in the pop industry now that are guys being emotional, and a male Adele still has yet to come forward, so I'm trying to get there.
Tanner, what is your mic of choice in the studio?
In the studio, it's hard to beat a U47.
I can't, no comment. So, Tanner, where can we follow you on social media?
Yeah, this is important. Go give me a follow. Instagram at Hey Tanner James. Like, hey, how you doing? Hey Tanner James.
Tanner, thank you so much for being a special guest on the show. Congratulations. I'm glad to see artists like yourself here at NAMM, because it's all about networking. It's all about being in the mix, right? Tanner James right here on air with Brittany James, here with recording artist Brittany Bookout. And Brittany, you have a new single out.
I do. It's called No One Like You. You can find it on all streaming platforms. Yeah.
What inspired you to come up with that title and the lyrical content?
I was thinking about first love and how there's nothing like your first love, and no matter what you do, it's always going to be a piece in your heart. So it's kind of what inspired it.
So with you knowing the topic, did you use AI to contribute to this single?
Oh, no, AI. We love AI, but I did not use AI to contribute to this single. No.
Speaking of AI, right, and this is the topic of choice that I chose to come up with. What are your thoughts on AI? Do you think it contributes or does it harm you?
I think it could be used as a great tool to help gain inspiration when you're having writer's block, for sure. I don't know that it's something that I would use personally if I'm writing a song, maybe for myself, but maybe to help inspire lyrics for other people that I write for or something like that, yeah.
Growing up, who were some of your influences that influenced the sound that you have today?
Oh my gosh, I love Shania Twain. And the Beatles, specifically the White Album, those are my top influences.
And what advice do you have, Brittany Bookout, for artists out there that are looking to should I release a new single? Should I get with a label? What should I do?
I would say just do it. There's so many distribution companies you can sign up with that can get your music on every platform. So don't wait, even if you think it's not quite ready, don't wait for it to be perfect, just do it. The world needs to hear you.
It sounds like a Nike commercial, just do it. Do you think that just distribution is the most important part, or is it really about the marketing that goes into the music?
You know what? I think it's a little bit of both. It's who you know, it's who spreads the word. But I think a good song is a good song, and so if the world's going to hear it, it's going to hear it.
Brittany Bookout, where can your fans at home follow you on social media?
You can follow me at Just a Girl in the Room, and yeah, that's where you can find me.
Thank you so much, Brittany Bookout, right here on Air with Brittany Jam.
Oh my gosh, I love Shania
Media Center, and I'm here with Neo Soul recording artist Kaira. Kaira, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm good. What brings you to NAMM? I know you're an artist, but I know you have a new sound. A lot of people have been comparing you to her, which is a phenomenal combination and a compliment. What can we expect from you this year?
Oh man, well, I'm working on my debut album right now. I just signed to Deathrow, Boss City, so working on that, giving you great R&B soul album. So you can expect some new music from me.
So Snoop is behind your project.
New Deathrow, yes, and Harrio, Boss City, yes.
Very cool. What are your thoughts on? Because I know that with Snoop behind Deathrow and the whole NFT movement, are you guys integrating NFTs in a unique way into your music?
Absolutely. We have some really cool things planned, and I'm super excited to merge the digital and the large music world that it is, and try to figure out ways to connect with the NFT community for sure.
Kaira, with us being in the 2023 stratosphere and AI being our topic of choice this year at NAMM, what are your thoughts on AI? Is it something that is helping you, or is it hurting you?
Yeah, I think that it can't hurt anyone, because when you write music or when you're writing a story, it's important that a soul is behind it, and AI doesn't have a soul. So I think it's helping us, and I think like Chat GPT and all of that, I think it's just really cool technology, and we should find ways to embrace it and to kind of grow our art.
You know what's funny about ChatGPT? So I was like, oh, let me write a song like Little John would write. And so I wrote the song, and it lacks the nuances, those things that make that hit song.
Exactly, the soul in it. You know, everybody has a unique individual way of saying things, but it's cool to have that and then tweak it. You know, tweak it and make sure you give it some of your own flavor and your own vibe.
Growing up, who were some of your influences in music?
Oh man, I grew up in the church, so a lot of Ty Tribbett, Mary, Kim Burrell, and then as I got older and was exposed to other music, Lauryn Hill, Beyonce, Alicia Keys, they all became great influences to me.
Speaking of Ty Tribbett, I don't think I've ever seen a male artist with that kind of energy in gospel music. I've seen Kirk Franklin, I've seen so many of them, right? But Ty Tribbett has this unique stage presence that makes him stand out.
Absolutely, and I would see him in small churches perform, and he's still jumping off the walls. It doesn't matter where he is, he still gives that same energy. I love it.
Awesome. Kaira, where can fans at home follow you on social media?
For sure. Well, on all social media, you can follow me at bykaira.com. So it's BYKAIRADOTCOM, bykaira.com.
And you being a newly signed artist with Deathrow, so congratulations on that. What is some advice you have for those artists out there trying to decide, do they need a label, whether it be an independent or a major label?
Yeah, I think you should know what you want first, and then you'll know what you need after.
That's some very good advice. You notice she's not stepping on any toes. Kaira right here, NAMM 2023. NAMM 2023. I'm Brandon, on air with Brittany Jam. We're here with fellow alumni. He was on my show back in 2020. Aaron Kellim. Aaron, how are you, man?
I'm great. It's good to be back with you, man. In the flesh.
Man, it's so refreshing to know that it's not just a virtual individual. We're not just an avatar, right? We're real here. We're real. So Aaron, I got a couple questions. There's a lot of things going on in the media right now, and I'm asking everybody, like my topic of choice is AI, because it's something that regardless of what we feel about it, it's inevitable, right? We got to face it. What are your thoughts about AI?
I think it can be a great thing for music as long as it's used in the correct way. Yeah, but I'm a fan. I think I've got a lot to learn, but I think it could be very helpful for what I do as an artist.
You know, I've dabbled with AI, with songwriting, and I'm like, it's amazing what this thing can do, but it lacks the nuances of what makes those hit songs, those melodies, all of that. Do you think that in the interim time with AI and ChatGPT and all these different things, do you think that the the arrangements will be created in a better structure, a better way with AI. More efficiency, I should say.
I think part of it, but I think you're right. I think the humanity of what we do will never be beat by AI. So it can come up with lyrics that might work for a whole song, maybe song structure, but if there's not a real person performing that, yeah, it doesn't matter.
You can hang it up. You heard Aaron Kellim, he said you can hang it up. AI is here to stay.
It's not going anywhere.
What are your thoughts, man? There's a lot of controversy with this whole Bud Light campaign. And we're not going to talk down about anybody. That's not what I do on my show. But my thoughts are, you're an artist, right? If there's a major brand out there, do you think that it can cripple your brand when it comes to making a public statement of that nature if you're boycotting a specific product?
Say that again?
If you're boycotting a specific product, if you say, oh, I don't agree with the agenda of this entity, do you think by you speaking up, and we've got freedom of speech, right? It's the Bill of Rights.
Yeah,
right?
we do.
We got the Bill of Rights, but at the end of the day, do we really have freedom of speech? Because there's a lot of controversy.
I think we have freedom of speech, but I also think there's consequences to your speech. So if you're going to say something, you got to be ready for the backlash. That's it.
And that's why I don't talk about religion and politics on this show, because it's a no-win situation. Aaron, what are you working on right now?
New music. I'm doing new music every month, releasing as an artist, and then doing a lot of songwriting for sync and licensing for film and TV.
What do you think are some of the tips that you would like to share with our audience? Because that is something that is very difficult to get sync, right? Because it's all about relationships, and a lot of people don't understand that. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, relationship is key. Don't write specifically for sync. If you're trying to write a song with sync in mind, it's not going to work. Write a song that you love, that you would perform anyway as an artist, and that's it.
And my question for you in 2023, what can we expect from you, man? I know you're always working, right? Because I think when you stop working, you die.
Yes.
Right, in the spirit, you just die. Like we're here at NAMM, we're moving, we're shaking. But what can we expect from you this year?
New music every month I'll be releasing. I'm going to tour in August. I'm going to do a little kind of like house backyard tour, living room type tour, and then songs in new TV, film, different things like that all year.
Aaron Kellim, thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview, man. I mean, listen, AKG, JBL brought us out. It can't get any better than this. NAMM 2023. I'm here with recording artist, producer, songwriter Aaron Kellim. I'm Brandon. We'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.
Thank you for tuning in to On Air with Brandon J. Follow on Instagram at I am Brandon J.